Yeah, welcome into the Sporting Lounge. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we have the gracious host.
Put a shirt on.
No, I will not. So that's why I'm not on camera. That is the sole reason.
Mr. Excuses.
So we have
Hey, bro,
myself.
I wouldn't
and
want
of
to
course,
put my shirt on if I was having shits like him. You know, he was telling us before we started.
Yeah, exactly. If you're feeling upset, you gotta just be fully naked on that toilet, clutching the edges, hoping to God it works out.
Damn, that was a crazy miss, Travis.
I am not Hemi
Right.
Buckets.
Yeah, you are not hitting buckets.
I was
As
looking
always-
like Jason Tatum right there.
Oh.
I think the more apt description is you're not freaking Struess or Martin or whatever the fuck his name is. The other dude.
Did you see that Caleb Martin only lost out to Jimmy Buckets for conference finals MVP by 1 vote?
He should have been finals MVP, conference finals MVP.
It was
But
pretty
that's not
close.
the topic of today's discussion.
No, it is not.
No, and by the way, everyone, welcome back, Shane. He's coming back again.
Round of applause.
Oh, thank you for having me again.
Yep. So, as obviously the finals are going to be the Nuggets versus the Heat, I'm going to say a sneaky one. I'm going to say Denver in 6.
Why are we talking about basketball?
Just because it's a quick pop, everyone just say who they want to win the finals real
Heat.
quick.
Nuggets
and
in 4.
Heat
in 4.
That's a fucking
Ooh.
joke.
Heat and 4.
Nuggets in
Hemi
4.
buckets.
I
Hemi
want-
buckets.
Okay, I want Hemi Buckets to get a ring. Like I want Miami to win. I like Denver and I like Jokic as well. But I know in my heart that Nuggets are going to win in 6. So,
Nuggets in 4.
but I want the Heat to win because I want Hemi Buckets to get his ring. He's done too much to not get one.
Hey, it's
Yeah,
not his
bro.
fault.
Yeah.
You watch Hemi buckets, bro. He literally just like the team. He's everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
He filed for the trademark on Hemi on the catchphrase
Hemi
Hemi Buckets
buckets.
this morning. Yeah,
hope
I don't know if it's been approved yet, but it's pretty cool.
So there's the finals. Now we're breaking down the AFC South because we already did the AFC North, and Bengals are obviously going to win that out. So the South is a little more complicated because here's the starting quarterbacks for the South: Trevor Lawrence,
Yay!
Ryan Tannehill,
Ooh,
most likely Anthony Richardson / Minshew, and then either Davis Mills or C.J. Stroud.
I think there's no. It's going to be CJ Stroud. There's no question.
It should be C.J. Stroud.
Yes.
You don't
It's
pick
going
a
to be.
number 2. But I'm holding out hope that
Don't fuck on General Mills like that, man.
General Mills.
General Mills, shut the hell up.
Yes, sir.
no, I
Get out of here.
don't be
with
wrong.
that
I do
bullshit.
think that CJ's going to end up starting just because of the draft capital spent on him, and I do think he's a good talent. But I don't think Mills was the problem for Houston the last 2 years. So I feel like they could have either traded down in the draft or just taken a different position altogether and been farther ahead somewhere else.
No, I
Yeah,
agree.
Taking an actual offensive weapon, JSN.
Yeah, I don't know if Jason necessarily that high at 2.
No,
but
I'm not saying at 2, but trade down
But
to
I mean,
like
like-
11 or 12 or something like that,
Yeah,
or 13 even. You know, the early teens.
Well, see, that's what
I mean,
Okay,
like
Jason.
you got Will Anderson too, though, dude. Like
right.
that was
that's-
good. That
you
was
know,
good.
like,
I like that.
CJ Stroud, like you got to put yourself in the Texans' position here too, though. Like they're like, okay, rebuild time is over. We start the turnaround now.
I was saying, we've seen
And
how
so-
important it is to have a solid quality backup in this league. And Mills, like if Stroud, delivers on his number 2 overall pick, then you got a competent backup at least that knows the offense.
Yep.
So that's huge. Again,
Well-
in that aspect and regard.
Like the thing is, like Will Anderson is a cornerstone. CJ Stroud is a cornerstone piece. They are building this team outside in instead of inside out. So like it's boom or bust this season, I think. Which like I'm going to be a little bit more favorable to the Texans because I think that there's some quiet pieces there, like Laramie Tunsil is still hanging around and playing at a high level.
Mhm.
You got a lot of those players that are just playing at a good, consistent level, just there's not enough around. Like, it just feels like there's, with teams when there's holes, it doesn't feel like a gaping abyss. With the Texans the last few seasons, it feels like there's gaping abysses at positions.
Multiple.
It's just, multiple. But like,
abysses.
Yep.
but it seems like those positions that they do have are just very good, very solid players. And if you could just fill in those spots, you know, the reason I like Will Anderson and CJ Stroud in the same draft so much, like if they both pan out, they're getting signed on the same year, or you could 5th year extend one of them and not the other and get them a front loaded guarantee and keep the other one the next year by front loading that guarantee. You know,
You have the opportunity to keep a cornerstone at each side of the ball.
and
That's
they're,
important.
you know, like,
So I would say
So what?
I was shocked because I thought they were gonna, grab CJ Stroud. No shocker there. Then I figured at around the 10-11 they were gonna grab JSN to pair with their wide receivers. But
That's what I thought they were going to do too.
right, they moved all the way back up to grab Will Anderson. So they have big hopes for him. But we've seen some great Texans defenders. So question is, can he live up to the history that's here? Granted, it's not a franchise that's been around for all that long, but we're talking obviously J.J. Watt, but there was another one on the other side, Ingram. Melvin Ingram? No. Who was the other one on the other
Jadeveon
side?
Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
That's who's the face.
I was like,
seeing.
Ingram
Which-
played for the Chargers, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you want to,
That's what
I don't know, if you want to say Clowney was great in Houston, sure.
No,
You know-
I think the player on the defensive side of the ball that was elite, like at the same time as Watt, but injuries got to him too, was Brian Cushing.
Oh,
Yeah.
the linebacker for sure.
Yes.
Ryan
Yeah.
Cushing was great. He was crazy. He was psychotic. But I like Will Anderson coming off the edge. They drafted 2 centers, one in the 2nd round out of Penn State. Juice Shrugs, and then they drafted Jarrett Patterson out of Notre Dame in the 6th. They grabbed a couple wide receivers, Nathan Dell, which is
I like him.
yep, the
Sleeper.
Purdue wide receiver. 5'8", a little short, but then they went out and got someone who had great college production, and that was Xavier Hutchinson, who stood 6'3". He adds a little bit more size to their wide receiver room, and he was a good college receiver. 2,929 yards and 15 touchdowns in his 3-year career at Iowa State. So they quietly secured the bag. So I'm excited for that.
I mean, like, I love the pick of Jarrett Patterson in the 6th round. Like, he didn't allow a sack. Oh,
Or
Surprise.
I was like, is this like a hot take or
I was like,
something?
this is the most important moment of your life.
it was
Yeah, I
a
like,
test.
fuck.
So
Anyways,
I just kept
continue.
rolling for a second, then I was like, wait, this dude's fucking doing something over here.
Nah, I did not mean to.
Stop touching stuff.
with Houston's
Like,
draft, where
Jar-
are
Shut
you
up.
thinking they go?
Jarrett Patterson, like,
Let's look at their schedule.
I mean, like, center on Notre Dame, 6th round, 201. He was a great run blocker. You watch his film, he's just a sturdy guy. You know, you like a good sturdy center in the NFL. Like, you don't need to have a super speedy center. You know, you could have a speedy guard. You know, you might have just picked up because the center you take earlier out of Penn State. You know, there's talks of him possibly switching over to guard because his size fits a little bit better and his length is a little bit better. So, like, if you were able to knock out 2 of those gaping abyss pieces in one shot, that's a win all day. And, like, the thing is, like, Jarrett Patterson is just very consistent. He shouldn't have been there at 201, but it just felt like he just kind of slid around because no one needed a center, really, or no one was really willing to pay a high price for a center, especially with
I mean-
the draft being so deep at so many positions.
I mean, the Texans took a center the last pick in the 2nd round as well. Juice Scruggs from Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's who I was referencing on
Yeah.
his size being more set to a guard. He has very
Right.
good footwork and very good agility. So they're saying that he could swing over to guard and be more of an impact on day one. So they pick up that guy in the 2nd round, Juice Scruggs, Penn State. And if you're able to pick up a center that's even able to start for a couple of years and be above average, like, That's filling in that gaping abyss hole that I'm talking about.
You
Like,
know,
the gaping
now
abyss.
you're making me join the hype train here a little bit. Like their draft is
For what?
good for Houston. I still don't think like spoiler alert. I think Jacksonville wins this division still, but I do thoroughly
Easily.
believe that second place is wide open.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna pick Houston to finish second initially. I believe in the Colts more, but like looking at their draft more, and then also seeing like forgetting the fact that like they drafted Derek Stingley Jr. last year, and he's got a high ceiling. He's playing good. Their defense played quietly better than it should have last year, and then they also
Mhm.
added Jimmy Ward in the offseason as well. And then you got John Mechie coming back from injury from cancer. Thank God he blessed up for him. Like
You get to
Then they added
From
Dylan
Alabama.
Horton in the 4th round too as
I
well.
was say Houston's a little bit. Their schedule's kind of tough though. I mean,
Their schedule's
what's
tough,
this-
and their offense is the big scary thing. Yes,
yeah,
Damian Pierce is decent at that.
and they acquired Devin Singletary as well to give him some leeway. You know, get a little bit of rest.
He
on
don't
the
mean
legs.
shit.
Oh, he's just gonna be a third down receiver.
Well, then, if you want Mike Boone from Minnesota Vikings and Denver from years ago, he was always hyped up because he was athletic. You know, he came in as a running back too.
Just looking at talent wise, I want to say that Houston easily can win or not win, but take second place in the AFC South. But then I look at their schedule and I'm like, man, are they going to win enough games? Because week 1, Baltimore loss. Week 2, they play Indy week 2 and week 18 the end of the season. I think they split, so let's just say they win right here. So 1-1. Then Jacksonville week 3, I think they lose. Then Pittsburgh week 4, I think they lose. Atlanta week 5, I think Atlanta actually wins that game. And I think New Orleans beats them week 6. So I think they're 1-5 going into the bye week. And then
Right,
Carolina
that's
could be
scary.
tough. Their defense is tough at least. Carolina's offense is a question mark still, but
And then Baker Mayfield,
then Cincy.
week 9. You want to know why? Because Baker Mayfield tattoos them, baby.
They're
He's
going to
throw
get
for
smacked
5.
by Cincy. I think they beat Arizona. Jacksonville, I think, is going to – yeah, Arizona's bad. I think Jacksonville's going to sweep them in the season. Then Denver, New York, I think they lose both those games. I do think that they're going to surprise and beat Tennessee both times in week 15 and 17, and I think they'll beat Cleveland once. I think they can beat Cleveland.
So you're talking like a 6-11 season.
Yeah, that's where I'm questioning.
So I mean,
on paper talent, like I can see them contending for second place, but their schedule's not going to let them do that unless they overachieve.
so I mean, depending on what site you look at, though, we'll rank the Texans' schedule as one of the top 5 easiest.
Yeah.
Just based on the opponents that had based on.
Well, it's because
You always do that based
Carolina,
on win
New
percentage
Orleans,
from last year.
Atlanta, Tampa, Indy, all of them had really Tennessee, all had and Denver all had horrible win-loss records.
Well, yeah, like the Jets are considered an easy opponent, but now they got Aaron Rodgers, so I wouldn't consider them easy.
Yeah,
I don't think they're taking. I don't think they're saying the Jets are going to be.
I think
but
everyone in the AFC or in the NFC South is improved, and they play all 4 NFC South teams in a row from week 5, week 6, bye week, week 7, then week 8, week 9.
Yeah, they really do.
So
They fit that
Like,
whole damn thing.
I don't know if I
I
would
don't
really
know,
call the Colts and Titans much improved.
no, I'm
No,
talking
no,
about the
he
NFC
said
South
NFC South.
because
is
they
much
play
improved
Atlanta
than the
week
Colts.
5, then New Orleans week
NFC
6,
South.
and then bye week 7, then Carolina week 8, and then week 9 they play Tampa. And I think every single team in the South is improved. Maybe not Tampa. There might be the same, which was division
Tampa's
winners
definitely the
last season.
same.
Which was they won the division last
One
year.
could argue Tampa got worse.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
here's
they
my thing, man.
Just losing, you can't say someone loses Brady and they don't get marginally worse. I won't say a lot
watch.
because he's
They're
not
gonna
the same.
do better. He's
They
gonna
go
do better.
from Brady to Baker. That's
Yeah,
more than marginally
That is an
worse.
upgrade.
That's
I
a
don't know,
huge
man.
downgrade.
That
Get
is
off
an
Baker's dick.
upgrade. That is.
I
an
think the
on-
Texans are going to creep up on some people, man. Like, here's the thing. Like, we're looking at the Texans like, oh yeah, they're probably going to lose lens, and not like a fair, like even lens. Like,
Mhm.
if we look at the Texans as what they are, and not what they have been, but what they are right now, a young team that has a couple cornerstone pieces, not even at young spots, but like Laramie Tunsil, you got a lot of these talented players that are still at the prime of their career, and you're bringing in these young guys, getting them ready. Like, there's a realistic chance they win 9 games. Like,
I would not be surprised.
I could see it because you can look at both their games against Indy as potential wins depending on how they play out. And then
Like,
Arizona,
here's the
They play
thing.
like they did
Let's-
last year. Then
let's say this. Let's say they split all 3 divisional games. Whether they end up beating the Colts twice, or they end up beating the Jags once, or beating whoever. Let's say they split 3-3. Okay, let's look at that. Ravens, probably a loss. Steelers, probably a loss. Falcons, I think they could take.
I want to be surprised.
Saints, I think they could take. You know, like, how high are you on Derek Carr?
I think Derek Carr's good enough,
Very.
especially since he's going to have a Michael Thomas that wants to play again, and a Chris Olave, and a very athletic
So
Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm pretty high on him too, but something that you need to remember is that Derek Carr performs best in a West Coast system, and the Saints are probably not going to be running West Coast this season.
That's true, but I still think the Saints win the division.
Okay, so we could say that one's a loss.
competition.
But I think they take the Panthers and the Bucks. Bengals, like, they probably lose to. Take Cardinals. Jags, we already said that. Broncos, I think they take. Jets, I think that's a close one. Coin flip, whatever. Titans, I think they could take. I don't think the Titans are going to be in necessarily best shape next season.
No, I think Titans finish.
But we split. And then I think they take the Browns. You know, like, that's a realistic, like, scenario.
Okay, so,
Going 9-8. Yeah.
so who in that case, Shane? Who do you think list your division winner all the way down to 4th?
So Jags 1, Houston 2, Colts 3, Titans 4.
So you think the Titans fall all the way out?
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Titans will be 3rd. Colts 4.
I think the only dynamic piece for me to decide if the Colts go up or down is one game of seeing how Anthony Richardson's going to play. That's it.
If he learns fast and is ahead
If
of
he's-
schedule.
If he's ready for it, you know, like, he's ready for it, and I'm here for it. You know,
Right.
here's the thing though, like, when Lamar was coming out of college, he's drawing so many comparisons to Lamar. I was hyped for Lamar. I was like, Lamar was fucking winning.
Yes.
You know, they were kicking ass.
Louisville on his back, though.
Yes, he fucking did. And you watch a Lamar game when he was in college, it was like he was a varsity kid against fucking freshmen.
Yeah.
Like, he was just dominant. Unstoppable. Like Mike Vick, Atlanta Falcons, Madden 04, unstoppable type shit, bro. Like, but with Anthony Richardson, you watch his tape and you're like, he sort of has mechanics. Like, you're able to overlook Lamar not having the best passing motion and all this stuff because of the flashes, because of these amazing plays that he's generating. Anthony Richardson did not have that, like, to the same extent. Like, I wasn't as high on Anthony Richardson at all. Like, I felt like Lamar comparatively was much more, like, mechanically ready for the NFL than Richardson. I think Lamar generates more splash plays than Richardson, but I think Richardson has more power on his throw, and I think that's a big talent that he has, coming out of college at least. I think Lamar currently is just a different beast.
Yeah.
But with that comparison out of the way, like, if he's able to live up to even, like, above average, then the Colts could be in a good spot. That's where I'm at with it.
I'm a diehard Colts fan, but I don't see it getting much better for us. If it is Richardson, don't get me wrong, great athlete, great person. Just I would have rather had Gardner Minshew,
Same.
because Gardner's my boy. That boy did it all. I mean, we did enough in the draft. You know, Anthony Richardson in the first round. We got Julius Brents in the second round from Kansas State, who I was really happy for. Then Josh Downs, the North Carolina receiver, another good one. An offensive tackle, Blake Freeland in the fourth. A defensive tackle in the fourth. Another corner, and then a safety, a tight end, and then finally Evan Hall, a running back who ran for 2,417 yards at Northwestern. He's a well-rounded back. Obviously, he's not going to be Jonathan Taylor, but hopefully someone to give a little, pressure off of him to get out there. So that'd be nice. And then again, another offensive lineman and cornerback in the 7th. I just think we're so young. We have so much to prove, and our especially on the back half, like there's a lot that we need to have done, just in general.
Yeah.
I'm
If I was the Colts, I still would have probably either traded back or drafted someone different than Richardson and played
I would
for
have too.
right, seen what like Gardner Minshew could do
Right.
this year, and
Just
then
1 year, see what he can do.
and then possibly
They're probably
gone for, like,
tired of
Caleb
doing the C
Williams.
1 year because they've done it like the past 4 years.
True, but I'd rather would have Caleb Williams or like Bo Nix next year.
Oh, let me say
Oh,
this
yeah,
real
for
quick
sure.
though. Like the 1 years have been like guys past their prime type shit.
Yeah,
Like,
so
Gardner
Minshew's still only
Minshew-
like 26 or 27.
Yeah, like it'd be one of those situations where you get a guy when he's young, and I bet you Minshew would show some mercy if they were to sign him to a long-term deal, because Minshew's been just sliding around the league. Like
See, I'm looking at all their schedules
Mhm.
right now, and
that would have been sweet, but no.
everyone's got
Yeah.
a tough schedule in the AFC South. Like I'm seeing here and looking at Jacksonville's schedule, and I only see 10 wins.
Right.
That's
Now,
all
see,
they need.
This is what Minshew did when he started. He had a 60% completion his rookie year in 2019, 3,271 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. What?
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
I said from the beginning that that Jacksonville like literally never needed to get rid of Minshew to begin with and draft Lawrence. Like
right,
that was
because
dumb.
in 2020 he had a 66%, so he had a 6% completion increase. 2,259 yards, 16 touchdowns.
And those
5
teams were
interceptions.
bad enough to have the number 1 overall pick, and it's obviously not his fault. Like build
Right.
around that. If you have the number
Yeah.
1 overall pick, trade back. If you don't, then trade back so you can get a second first-round pick in this draft and just start building.
But like, can we be straight though? You come across a Trevor Lawrence like talent
Yeah.
once in a lifetime. Like, and if you're lucky enough to be that team picking first overall, you take that Trevor Lawrence talent, man.
Because you'd rather burn with that.
Should I remind you what he did to these poor lightning bolt boys in the wild card round last season?
That's why I traded for him to pair with Josh Allen.
Yeah, so I mean, you would rather die in the back of the quote unquote generational talent Trevor Lawrence rather than your GM getting fired because you stuck with Gardner and left Trevor Lawrence.
That's
and then
true.
him coaching you. So like I understand.
I was just say, yeah,
Right.
I can see in hindsight because if you pass on Trevor that season and Minshew has that bad season, like by the end of that season, your job could be in jeopardy
big
because
time.
of that. Whereas if Trevor fails, you got 4 years to let him fail before they're even talking about you.
Right.
True.
Well, here's the
So-
thing: is like I don't see that in Anthony Richards. So why didn't we, grab Jalen Carter? Why didn't we, since we run a 4-3, why didn't we let Minshew ride one season, and then come across the Bo Nix, the Caleb Williams, the generational guy? Like,
Yeah.
Side note: Did you guys see Jim Irsay, the dude for the Colts, tweeted out the teams that are trying to get in contact with Andrew Luck, whatever, would be a league violation.
yes,
Yeah.
It was like,
Jim
is Andrew Luck
Irsay
trying to come back?
off his rocker. And if
Luck's not
Andrew
coming
Luck
back.
comes back, if he does, and he comes back to the Colts,
That'd be cool.
he'd be a great mentor for Anthony Richards, but that dude,
Richardson.
whatever. But
Sound out your words, Benny.
anyways,
Someone
He
get
was-
this.
He's
man
your
the
quarterback.
comics.
What the fuck?
I don't want him as my quarterback. I already called that. He's a great, upstanding young man,
No, but
but
like,
he has
look
to
at.
develop. He's like a
All right,
Cam
so
Newton.
is everyone in agreement here that Jacksonville's going to win the division?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now look at their schedule. All right, so week 1, Indianapolis, W or L?
Dub.
W
W.
to win.
Week 2, Kansas City,
Dub.
Loss.
loss.
Wow,
What?
Shane says
Dub.
dub. Wow,
I like that energy though. All right, then week 3, Houston, dub.
dub.
Loss.
Ooh, okay. And then week 4, Atlanta,
I'm gonna
dub.
go loss.
Dub.
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 You think they're gonna? Dub. Okay. And then week 5 against Buffalo.
Loss.
Loss.
That's a loss.
Dub. They
Weeks.
bro, we gotta go over the Bills' schedule, and we're gonna be like, they're going 17-0 if they never fucking lose a trap game here and there.
No. Buffalo's schedule is tough too. I looked at it the other day, but we'll get to that on Friday.
That's not
But
Okay, I'll trust you right now, and I'll say the Bills will dub them.
all right. So Indy week 6 again. Does Indy split with them, or do the Jaguars
Ooh.
sweep them?
Indy win. I mean, Indy loss again. Jacksonville
I'm
lost.
gonna
wins.
say a split. I'm gonna say a split.
I think
I would call a split.
Jacksonville 2.
I don't think the division's strength to weakness right now is big enough to be like a sweep, like on
That's
paper.
fair.
When we're looking at it on paper,
I'm
when we're
calling
going
it
through
a
the
sweep.
AFC North, when we're looking at the AFC North, we're like, okay, the Steelers are this much better than the Browns, and then the Ravens are right here with them, and then the Bengals are above them. Right now, like when you're looking at the South, it's like ding, 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 like it's all one chamber. You know, like, do we think anybody from the South is going to go to the Super Bowl next year?
No.
No.
How many teams in the North do we think are going to go to the Super Bowl that have a chance at the Super Bowl? Because the
Bengals.
betting odds are saying 2 of them,
I would say Bengals, and that's it. For
and not the Steelers, but the Ravens, of
Right.
course.
All right. So
don't think I have the Ravens, but
me neither.
that's
So
okay.
week 7 for Jacksonville is New Orleans, which I think that's winnable, but they might lose that too.
That's a win.
Week 8 is
Uh,
Pittsburgh.
That's a win.
I'm gonna call that a
Ooh.
loss.
No, Steelers.
Same. I say
That's
loss
a-
to the
I
Steelers
say-
as well.
That's a Jacksonville win.
No, I said yesterday Steelers dub. You agreed with
nine-
me when I said it yesterday.
Nah. I
Week
changed
9
my
is
mind.
is bye week. Week 10 is a loss to San Francisco.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Week
I
11
think that could be a win.
Week 11 is Tennessee.
That's a
Win.
win.
I'll split. That one's at home, so they win that one.
Week 12 is Houston again, at Houston.
I'll take the win again. They sweep Houston.
Week 13, Cincy at home.
Loss.
A little loss.
Loss, big time.
Week 14, they play in Cleveland.
I'll
That's a
actually
win.
take the L. I'll say
That's
I
gonna be a
will
win.
Cleveland plays tough for no reason in some areas. Don't sleep on Cleveland's defense. But Baltimore week 15 but they're at home. The
Another
Jacksonville's
loss.
at home. Week 18
That's a
they
win.
play in Tampa.
another
Dub.
loss. That's a 4-game skid.
That's a
That's a win.
dub.
Nah, Tampa Bay. That's a loss at Tampa. That
They
also
dub
sounds
against the
like-
Browns and the Bucks, bro. You kidding
No,
me?
they don't. They take
2-0.
losses from both.
And then
Two
week 17 is at home against Carolina.
I'm
That's a
giving
win.
the dub.
And then week 18 is at Tennessee.
I say they lose. They split.
I'm
they
gonna
split.
say they sweep Tennessee, so dub it again. They end out strong on 2 wins after going.
See,
2
I had them going 10-7 when I looked through it initially. I had them starting off 1-1.
I'm gonna say 11-6.
in a loss against Kansas City, and then I think they beat Houston and Atlanta, so they start off 3-1, and then they lose to Buffalo 3-2, and then I think they lose to Indy 3-3, and then I think they lose to Pittsburgh, but I think they beat New Orleans. So 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, and then 1,
Mhm.
2. So they're 4-3, or 4-4 through week 8. Then bye week, lose to San Francisco 4-5. Then they beat Tennessee 5-5, beat Houston again 6-5, lose to Cincy 6-6. I think they beat Cleveland 7-6, lose to Baltimore 7-7. And then I think they went out 10-7. Tampa, Carolina, Tennessee, they went out.
I
I
think
think-
they're gonna go 11-6.
I think 10-7 is about where I'm at with them. But I think that's going to go through a different path than we're predicting.
Okay.
I think
Interesting.
I feel like
What-
the Jaguars always be beating those teams that they just shouldn't be, and they lose into the teams that they
as recently as
shouldn't
last
be.
season. Who did they beat? And then the very next week they get blown out like 40-10 by the Lions. Let's see. What was their they beat someone they should have
Yeah.
beat last year. I gotta check. I'm looking.
Did they really? I
Yeah,
don't remember that.
they do it every year, bro.
I mean, I like the Jaguars. While you guys are looking that up, the Jaguars drafted
Yeah, they
offensive
beat-
tackle in
yeah.
the first round, and then a tight end, Tank Bigsby, running back,
Mhm.
linebacker, defensive end, another linebacker, safety, wide receiver, corner, safety, offensive tackle, defensive tackle, and a fullback. So
Yeah, so
they
they
played all the cards.
so weeks 12 through 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. They went 6-1. They beat Baltimore in week 12, 28 and 20 to
Mhm.
27 last season, and then they get fucking shellacked, just destroyed,
By
smacked
Detroit.
around by the Lions 40-14. And then they beat
Jesus
Tennessee
Christ.
36-22.
A hot Tennessee team, mind you. Remember how hot Tennessee
Yeah.
was at
Yeah,
week
Tennessee was
14
hot.
last
Mhm.
Yeah, they were on a roll then. Yeah, they beat Tennessee by 2 touchdowns, 36-22. Then they beat a hot Dallas team 40-34 in overtime. Then they beat the
Jesus.
Jets 19-3. Then they
And that's when the
31-3
Jets'
Houston.
defense was starting to come together.
Mhm.
And then they beat Tennessee 20-16 again.
Yeah.
The only two
But,
losses
like,
Jaguars
from
11-6.
from week 9 onward, so the entire second half of the season, their only two losses were to Kansas City and Detroit.
So, like, here's the thing, though. Like, you look at their losses, though. They lost to Washington, Philadelphia. That was reasonable, but
They
then the
caught New York at the
Texans,
beginning of
the
their hot streak
Colts.
last season.
Yeah, they generated the hot streak for New York last year. Essentially, they lost to Denver.
I
Like-
understand them losing to
Mhm.
Washington. Washington was tough last season, even though and they were better than their record showed, but they weren't at the same time. They were a weird team last year. They lost to New York during their hot streak, but with the way they played last year, the week 5 and week 8, those losses were inexcusable at the beginning of the season. Houston and Denver,
Mhm.
they should have won both of those games, in my opinion.
And the Colts.
They beat the Colts. Oh, the second one in week 6. Okay, yeah.
Wasn't the Colts when they lost to the Jags? Because it was like the last game of the season. I think it was like 2 years ago, and they needed that win to get into the playoffs, but they lost.
Yeah, the Steelers got
Carson-
them because
Carson-
of it.
Yeah, because
Let's
Carson Wentz
go.
threw an interception to
Yeah.
lose the game.
Yeah, bro. I was watching that. I was like, there ain't no way the Jags beat the Colts. And then it all happened. It was so beautiful, bro. I was like, we're in! We're in! Here's my golden ticket. And then we got
was-
fucking bounced.
Big time.
Ugh.
We bounced way the hell out that playoffs. That's
Well,
funny though.
but I thought was it not a close game? 2021 Steelers.
I don't know. Still lost.
Let's see. All right, so
Oh, yeah, no, it was ugly. 42-21 against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
That's
good
great.
for
That's
them.
something I blocked out of my mind.
Yeah, you regret
Amnesia. Amnesia.
The
That's
season
funny.
before that, lost to the fucking Browns. Oh,
I
Yeah.
actually like Tennessee's draft too because Peter Skoransik out of Northwestern, the tackle, is a great pick.
Yeah.
Skorensky.
And then I like
Skoransky.
Tyjae Spears out of Tulane. Like he's a good talent, but I'm just for fantasy purposes, I'm gonna
I
stay
mean,
away.
let's
from
not
him
forget.
because-
Okay,
Tennessee
but
first
Travis.
round talent, Will Levis. Tennessee
Well,
got that first.
I
round
skipped over him
talent,
for a
Will
reason.
Levis.
So, Skorensky, like, is he tackle or guard? You know?
Guard.
Yeah, he's a little. Yeah, he's 6.
He's a
I
guardy
mean, they
guard.
picked up Andre Dillard in free agency, so
His arm length is short.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they're
He's-
saying
they're
move
gonna
him
move
to guard. But,
Yeah, they'll move him to guard.
you know, Orlando Brown Sr. had the same issue.
well,
And they were saying the same thing, and then they were just like,
Let's
fuck
look
it,
at-
nah.
Let me look at Tennessee's schedule here real quick.
It's not too terrible. Good old Will Levy. Gonna be better than what's his face?
Ryan Tannehill.
Liberty.
So
No,
Tennessee,
the dude from
I
Liberty.
think,
Malik
Malik
Willis.
Willis. I liked Malik Willis. I'm a little upset by this.
I
He
think
shouldn't be. He was
Tennessee
overhyped.
is going to start off 1-5 in the first week of the season. I think they only beat Indy, or not? Yeah, Indy. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they
considering
beat Cleveland. They beat Indy. And I'm gonna go as far as to say as they beat the Saints. 3-2.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. So their
First
beginning
5 weeks.
schedule is Saints, Chargers, Browns, Bengals, Colts, Baltimore. I agree with Travis. I'm going one.
I see. I'm looking
No.
through. I'm
They
looking at this.
beat
and I
the
see,
they beat the Saints. They lose to the Chargers. Beat the Browns. Lose to Bengals. Beat
What
Indy.
does Tennessee do that is better than the Browns? Because
They don't
kind
have
of
Deshaun
identical
Watson.
team. They're kind of identical teams, and you could say that Deshaun Watson's the better quarterback.
There was actually,
But I have more
1,000-yard
faith in the Browns
receiver.
offense.
Yeah, the Browns actually had a 1,000-yard receiver and a 1,500-yard runner, just like Derrick Henry, and a better QB. Whether it's Jacoby.
Yeah, and how did they do? And how did they do?
The Browns? Last
Not shit.
I
Exactly.
see
When we're
four
talking
to
about not shit,
I see 4 to
they
6
And they
did
wins.
finished
just as
fourth.
good. Yeah, they did just as good as Tennessee, 7-10.
So still
what is
finished
your
fourth.
point?
Tennessee finished second.
So one of
I'm
them was in a
predicting
harder
4 and
division.
13. 4 and 13
Tennessee
for the
finished
Titans
second.
with a max of 6 wins of 6 and 11 with a max of 6 and 11 for the
I
Titans.
agree with Travis.
I think you're putting too much on Ryan Tannehill.
I know. Ryan Tannehill has been a career quarterback.
Derrick Henry's still going to be good, but I think he's already started to decline. 2 years removed from injury, he's 30.
Yeah, and I think Deshaun Watson has too.
Perfect.
That year and a
Nick
half is
Chubb.
gonna.
Nick Chubb was just fine. So was Amari Cooper. So
Yeah, just fine, but just fine doesn't. Personal performances don't translate to team wins.
I could see them. I see them beating Indy, Atlanta, Carolina. And they split the Houston games, but with the potential of sweeping Indy and Houston, those were my potential 6.
I see one.
So how do we
two,
feel about Calvin?
3.
Ridley? I know
I
it's a
love
separate
Calvin
division,
Ridley
but
there.
1,
We're talking about
2,
suspensions.
3,
Calvin Ridley's plays for Jacksonville now.
4.
It's the right division.
5.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, duh. I
6,
forgot
7,
that he's not a Falcon anymore.
8.
yeah.
Yeah.
For the Jags.
Oh, good
9.
thing I brought him up. We weren't gonna bring up Calvin Ridley. Actually, fuck.
10.
I still thought he was a Falcon. I forgot
see a floor of 9 wins for Tennessee.
A floor?
I think they get at least 9. I think they go at least 9 to 7.
What the fuck did you smoke?
I will say that they could
Nothing.
overachieve, and their ceiling is 9 wins.
Yeah.
No, I think they legitimately can beat the Saints, Cleveland, Indy. That's what in the first 5 games. That's 3-2. Lose to Baltimore 3-3. Beat Atlanta 4-3. Lose to Pittsburgh 4-4. Beat Tampa and Jacksonville.
And Jackson.
Beat Carolina. Beat Indy. Lose to Miami. Beat Houston. Lose Seattle. Beat Houston. Lose to Jacksonville.
You're saying 9 to 10 wins for this team.
I think
Yeah.
that's their
The
ceiling.
Jaguars.
I think that's their
You did
absolute
play
ceiling out of
split.
4.
Like I said, I think
that's
their
the absolute
ceiling's like 11 wins, but I think they're gonna get at least 9.
No.
I think their ceiling's 9 wins.
I think they regress.
And I think
this year.
I think
Out
their
of all the
their
AFC
floor is 4 wins and their ceiling is 9. That's what
They don't beat the Seahawks.
What
No.
did what?
No,
No,
they
I
didn't
said they
do
lose. I said they lose.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, they don't.
Yeah, no,
beat the
I
Seahawks.
said they. I win against Houston, lose to Seattle, win against Houston.
Awesome. What did they do this offseason to make them better than they were last year?
I think they're just as good.
They're just as good as
As
last year.
this
and they
year.
only went
I don't
7.
have, but I think Indy stayed the same. I don't think Indy got any better. I don't
Right.
think really the Texans got even better besides adding a quarterback, but they still don't really have offensive playmakers.
Wait, are we just acting like the Titans didn't get better?
The Titans.
I don't
I'm arguing that the
They
Indy
immediately
stayed the same.
improved their offensive line.
Yeah.
And
They
the
get
Texans
Spears in
stayed
the
the
third
same.
round. Like Spears was a
saying,
stud.
Yeah, but is he gonna play before Derrick Henry?
Here's the thing.
No,
I'd say
but
away
he's a
from
good
Spears,
relief back.
I think he's a
Like-
great talent, but his NFL career is going to be very short. He has the same issues Todd Gurley did.
Yeah.
And
But
And
like-
it's
Hassan
already farther
Haskins.
along than Todd's was when he got to
Mhm.
the league.
Hassan
Like,
Haskins
here's
was
the
a
thing.
great relief back, and so was Julius Chestnut, and so was they've had a lot of Darrington Evans. Like they've had a lot of good backups to Derrick Henry. But here's the thing: you're the backup to Derrick Henry. It doesn't matter. You're the backup.
But here's the difference. You want to know the difference from the past to now?
Sure.
Derrick Henry has started to deteriorate. We're starting to see the
Yeah.
cracking in the marble. It's
Mhm.
starting to
agree.
spread. We need that second hand, or else we're going to lose the whole damn statue.
I still think Henry gets 1,000 yards, but I'd be surprised if he goes over 1,100 this season. I'm going to say that like confidently,
Like,
unless
look
you
at
draft
Dalvin Cook. Like, Dalvin Cook has been putting up the same numbers consistently throughout his career because he has a good second hand. Like, Dalvin Cook, everybody's like, Dalvin Cook's going to fall off this year.
Mhm.
Every year, what happens? Every year.
True.
Yeah.
He's just consistent because, unlike other running backs, you don't, like Le'Veon Bell, for example, the wheels got ran off him so damn fast. Like, we're not
I think-
feeding him 40 touches a game. We're feeding him 20, and he's getting 20 good touches in good formations. That's why Minnesota won so many games last year, was because
To
Kirk
be
Cousins went
fair,
above and beyond on Audible.
Le'Veon Bell was in the perfect situation to be elite with his patience and the fact that he got to run behind a couple Hall of Famers.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because once he left the
also
Steelers, that impressive yard per carry went like plummeted immediately. Although he did,
You can't be patient when an offensive line ain't making holes for you.
That is true. But
Fair enough.
oh man, So you guys really, yeah. I think
I don't.
I'm
see-
going 9-8 for the Titans.
I'm going 4-12.
No, that's more like the Colts. Look at track.
Oh, I think the Colts are also going to go 4-12. Yeah.
you guys keep
I have
forgetting
both
that there's
Tennessee
7
and
games.
Colts
You guys are like
trying
just
to fight for
forgetting
the
one
bottom.
game. So what game are they not playing?
No, Ben is. Ben is forgetting. I said 9-8, you doofus.
I went 4-12. So that's 6.
I think 4-13 for the Colts.
Okay. Yeah, 4-13, 5-12. That's their range.
Let's
How
see.
about that, Trav?
I say they lose
That works. That's better.
1, 2, 3.
Maybe
I think
slip
the
a
Colts
game.
could potentially split 2 out of their first 5, or they could win 2 out of their first 5 potentially if they beat Houston and Tennessee. But out of their first 7, those are the only 2 games I see them potentially winning.
Yeah, I
The
have
only
them
game I
lost at Houston.
I think they can
Lost
beat
for-
Carolina. I think they can beat Atlanta, and they could beat Vegas.
Yeah, for
And
my
then
Colts,
and then outside of that, they're hoping they split against Houston and Tennessee, and then everything else on their schedule looks like a loss to me.
Oh, no.
Carolina.
Remember,
Mhm.
if we're arguing Austin's way, Derek Carr's not that good. Tennessee didn't get much worse. So I'm saying they go 9-1.
Your Colts suck.
Hey, you love living in the past, Benny, so why can't I?
9-1. No, clearly.
You love living in the past. You always bring up past stats, so shut the fuck up.
Okay. Again, anyway, it's 9-1 for the first 10 games for the Colts because that's the Austin method. Because
How's that the Austin method? That's not even the Austin method, you dumb idiot.
The Tennessee
Who
Titans
got
did
better?
Nothing. The Colts got better. Tennessee Titans did.
How?
So the Colts.
How'd the Colts get better? Explain right now.
Well, first off,
yes.
we grabbed a great quarterback.
Shut the fuck up. Like
Beautiful.
10 minutes ago, you trashed him.
He's
not
talking
my
about-
quarterback, but
He's talking
good.
about he likes
Minshew.
Minshew.
I love
I like
Minshew.
Minshew too.
And then we actually grabbed a really great corner in Julius Brents. I don't know if you watch his Kansas City State. He's a tall, lengthy guy, 6'3", I believe. We got a receiver, Josh Downs, to pair with Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman. So that's going to be a little bit more to help us out. Offensive tackle out of BYU. So he's going to be a great
Year 1 starter? We
My-
gonna lie to ourselves and say
No.
that's a day 1 starter?
If you go with
for
the
our
Ben
team-
logic, yeah.
For our team, he's probably going to be a day 1 starter.
With the Ben arguments, yeah. Everyone's
He's
a
a
day one
big
starter.
boy.
Okay,
He's
so
6'8".
Is that a good thing if he's a day 1 starter on your team? Because he's definitely not a day 1 starter when I was evaluating his tape.
Well, he's going to compete with Rain Man at the left
Let's
tackle.
see.
But we've got Quentin Nelson, we've got Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, and Braden Smith. So that side of the line is set. We don't have to worry about it. We need to bring in another tackle, and that's Blake Freeland out of BYU. I think he could compete and end up taking the starting position. And then, of course, we grabbed quite a few different corners and safeties. So, yes, Austin, we did get better and younger. But anyways, what I truly think the Colts will do on this schedule is probably 4-13, 5-12. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's not gonna look right. I think it's starting off 0-5, and then 0-4, and then we beat Tennessee. Possibly our split with them. Maybe we win the week 13 one, but I think we beat them once. We get swept by Jacksonville. I think we split with Houston. We lose a lot of these, like Carolina, New England, Tampa Bay, Cincinnati. Possibly the upset game against Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Raiders. And that's really about it. Like, I don't expect my Colts to do anything. I expect us to compete with the Titans for last place.
The only way I think the Colts defense on paper, and like they have been on paper for the past 4 or 5 seasons, have had a top 10 defense on paper, but they just half the season they play like it, the other half they play like a bottom 10 defense. And if they can find a consistent middle with that on defense, and Anthony Richardson comes in showing that he was worth the 3rd or 4th overall pick, whatever it was, then 4th, then they could be better. But I just don't see those things happening.
Bro, imagine if Houston got CJ Stroud and then they jumped up and took Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
if they did that.
Yeah.
If I was Davis Mills, I would have immediately just requested a trade at that point.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, you should have just traded me to the Colts. Like,
yeah. That would have been crazy.
I don't know if that'd be any good.
Why not? You get 2 quarterbacks.
just a spite pick, and just like, here, fight for it.
Did you get? I hate to bring up the Steelers, but did you guys hear about the? So the Steelers traded up from 17 to 14, so they jumped the Jets, swapped with the Patriots, whatever. And Mike Tomlin in an interview was like, "I ain't going to say that."
Yeah,
what?
I heard that he drafted the guy just like purely to make sure that.
Yeah, Belichick gave him like a cheap ass deal supposedly, just so the Steelers could jump the Jets, so they didn't have to deal with them twice a year. And then, because like obviously that was who they were gonna pick, and so the Steelers jump them, and then, he said that Belichick did not hesitate to wrap up the deal. So like
in the first round for Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
Ohio State guy. Or no, Georgia guy, not Ohio State.
Yeah, Georgia, please.
Of course, Mike Tomlin does that. But I mean, Belichick outsmarted him for saying, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers, you don't get a great offensive tackle.
Yeah,
we're gonna make you deal with what you've dealt with in Green Bay." Damn.
Yeah.
I'm just watching his highlights now. Broderick Jones. Such a good tackle.
He is. He's
his head placement needs to get significantly better, but he is very good. Like this talent, this is Hall of Fame talent level, honestly. Like I think he has the highest ceiling in the draft class. I shouldn't be talking about it too much, but like he's got the speed, he's got the size, like he's got the talent, he's got a powerful first punch. But his head placement is his biggest issue because, you want to get your head on the inside, pushing a gap. And he doesn't do that consistently enough. That's his biggest issue right now. Once he fixes that, that's a skill thing. You can learn that. And you fix that, I think, like, perennial Pro Bowler. Realistic. Anyways, Peter Skoronsky. Very good tackle as well. I would love to see him start at tackle. I think that there's a real chance that you just say, fuck it. His arms ain't long enough, but he's so fucking mechanically sound. Like, I think that he has that Pro Bowl potential as well. I think he's going to be more of like a grittier guy. I think his biggest comp is Jason Kelce, but like,
really,
he's been playing at tackle throughout his collegiate run. So like, maybe just fucking let him run at tackle. Because, if Jason Kelce was forced to play tackle, I'm sure that he would be just fine. Yeah. Like, if they were just out of tackle.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. Like, that's his biggest comp. Both Jason Kelce, his biggest thing is he's got fast feet, he's got good mechanics, and he can get a good hook under the pads, They play very similarly. You know,
See,
I like Peter Skronsky a lot.
I don't think I like Peter Skronsky a lot too. I just don't think there's like we've seen what Ryan Tannehill can truly do. Like no one's impressed by Ryan Tannehill or what he does. Like when he used to throw for 4,000 yards back in Miami, sure, that was a force to be reckoned with. But since he's been here, 2,700, 3,800, 37, 25
Mm-hmm.
is.
I mean, yeah, when you're giving Derrick Henry the ball 40 times a game, that might happen to your passing stats.
Right.
It happens.
And I think that's going to be the same thing for the Colts.
I had Tannehill for the one season that he actually played well at quarterback and traded him for a lot more than I ever should have been able to.
Right. And
That's also true.
Just what I was saying. It's like, I believe it's going to be the same way for Indy. It's all going to be on the legs of Jonathan Taylor, who, in my opinion, is a fantastic running back. Maybe not the echelon of Derrick Henry, maybe not the echelon of any greats at the moment. But, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact he was injured last year, probably would have hit 1,000 yards for the third time in a row. But I just think it's hand the ball to Derrick Henry as many times as you can in a game and hope to pull out 6, 7, 8 games. I think their ceiling is 8 to 9 games. I think their floor is 4 to 5. I think that's their floor. Their ceiling is 8 or 9. I don't think the Colts
do 100% with that.
Same thing with Tennessee Titans. Their floor is 4. Their ceiling is 8 or 9. Jags, I think their floor is probably 8. I think their high is 14. And then that leaves the good old Houston Texans. I think their floor is about 6. I think their high is about 10.
I can see. I agree. I actually 100% agree with Ben on something for the first time in a long time, which is weird. But
right. You're welcome. How's it feel to be right for once?
Well, you're not right.
I just really think because if Trevor Lawrence takes another step and Calvin Ridley is still like people forget the last year he played in the NFL was like 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns.
He was very good.
So
with Marcus Mariota passing to him.
Mm-hmm. So, well, no, I think he. I think it was still Matt Ryan.
Question.
No, yeah, that was Matt Ryan's last year.
Yeah, it was Matt Ryan's last year. But still.
But
that offense could take Ryan's last year. They could take a whole nother jump, and then they also have Tank Bigsby now to alleviate Travis Etienne. Like if that offense can take a whole nother step, their defense was already decent last year. The
defense played really well.
So I can see like 14 wins potentially. I want to see them do it first.
Right. I'd say more like 12.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 12. 12-5 is my guess for them.
I think I'll say this pretty quick. Jags, 11 dubs. Texans, 10 dubs. Titans, 9 dubs. 10. Colts, 4.
I like Shane.
Damn.
I like Shane.
Pain.
That's kind of where I was leaning. But more so Titans finishing above the Texans, but that's just me.
I'll say, okay, let me say this. I think Texans 9.5, but in second over the Titans. Titans 9.5 under the Texans.
Interesting. I don't know. For me, it's going to go Jags, Titans, Texans, Colts.
It's going to go.
But I think the Texans are going to finish like a game behind the Titans.
Jags,
that's why I was saying, like, I think it's one of the
I think it's really going to come down to their season split.
Yeah.
Jags, Houston,
the Texans
Colts,
and
Titans.
Thank you, Travis. We agree on this. So when we're proven right, Travis, they'll have to buy us a beer.
If we're proven wrong, we buy them a beer. It's a two-way street.
You're going to have to buy me a beer, Ben, plus give me $30 or $20.
Okay.
Yep.
I heard that Ben owes everyone $20.
Oh, not you, buddy. You played the wrong side of the fence here.
You were on my side, Travis. No,
you owe me $20, Buckaroo.
Yeah, Ben owes me $20. Travis, you owe Shane $20 and a beer.
Ben, you owe them $40.
Wow.
Damn, that's crazy. Damn, Ben, that's crazy.
I can't believe you're doing this.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. All right, guys. Before we close out this episode, I'm gonna do another blind top 15 rankings.
Let me pull out a word thread. Yeah.
But this time though, it's gonna be current players.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know no current player names.
That's
You got
all right.
Peyton Manning on this list, bro? I hope so.
Yeah, John Elway's on the list too.
Oh, good. I know him. Johnny Unitas. I remember watching Johnny Unitas on my 21st birthday at the local tavern.
You said this is the top 15? You said top 15.
Warren Moon's on the list too. Yeah,
Sorry?
top 15.
Top 15.
Yup.
Okay. Oh, that's a lot.
Terry Bradshaw?
Yup. Yes, sir.
Jerry
Where
Rice?
do you think? Why? You notice what era this tattoo's from, buddy boy?
Yeah. All right, let me know when y'all ready.
I love Keen Peele. I'm ready.
All right. Jalen Waddle.
Number one.
Hell yeah. I love that because on my
Jalen
on my
Waddle?
team. Yep.
I traded
put
him
him
to you for Kenneth Walker.
Yep.
All right.
DeForest Buckner.
Buckner, I can put him up here safely.
Austin Eckler. Jalen Ramsey.
Hold on, Jesus.
Jesus,
We're not
work
typing.
faster. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so Buckner.
I don't even use the home row, bro. Come on. No excuse.
Okay, so
Oh my
after
God.
Buckner was Eckler, and then who did you
Yes.
say?
How slow are you?
for
Jalen
first?
Ramsey.
Okay, next one, bro. Come on.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
Okay, now I'm caught up.
God damn, about time. Holy shit.
Fuck you.
Travis Kelce.
Okay.
So you should have 4 players written down.
We have
I've-
5.
I said DeForest Buckner, Jalen Waddle, Austin Eckler. Oh, wait, I can't count. Never mind. Shaq Leonard.
Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq Leonard.
Yep.
Oh, the Colts linebacker.
Yeah, you idiot. Quentin Nelson.
I can. Oh no, he's fallen. So I'm going to put him here.
Trent
So-
Williams.
Oh, yeah. I can justify this because of the age. I'm not liking my list.
I'm
Aaron Donald.
No, I'm cool with him.
Derwin James.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
Joey Bosa.
Oh, Bosa can go here. He's washed.
Trayvon Diggs.
I can put Diggs here comfortably. Two more, Aussie.
Yep. Dak Prescott.
Okay. And for the final last person at my number 2 spot is
J.C. Jackson.
don't like that at all. He is number 2 on my list.
Hell yeah. I like that.
I would
As a
definitely-
Patriots fan, I love that.
I would definitely.
Bro, I think my list just went God tier.
No,
I think
my
I did a
list-
pretty good
unlike
list too.
last time.
I want to hear Ben's first.
All right, Shane.
I'm curious.
Yeah. All right, Ben, read them off 1 through 15.
Okay. So 15, I'm going to do it backwards. 15 is Joey Bosa. 14 is Dak. 13 is Trayvon Diggs. 12 is Derwin James. 11 is Aaron Donald. 10 is Austin Eckler. 9 is Shaq Leonard. Number 8 is Trent Williams. 7 is Waddle. 6 is Quentin Nelson. 5 is Ramsey. 4 is Buckner. 3 is Kelsey. 2 is J.C. Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 1 is Justin Jefferson.
That's funny. I
I
love
like
it.
Shane's now too.
I like the J.C. Jackson play.
Mine?
Yeah. I
All
like
right,
Shane's.
J.C. Jackson 15, Trevon Diggs 14, 13 Shaq Leonard, 12 Derwin James, 11 Austin Eckler, 10 Jalen Waddle, 9 Prescott, 8 Ramsey, 7 Buckner, 6 Nelson, 5 Bosa, 4 Donald, 3 Williams, 2 Kelsey, 1 Jefferson.
Okay, see,
I like it.
your
Not
top
too bad.
five. Yeah, yours is much
Not bad.
I only have one.
Ben's is all over the place.
I
Fuck.
I like mine. There's only one thing that I would change.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I mean, okay, so 1 is Justin Jefferson, 2 is Joey Bosa, 3 is Travis Kelsey, 4 is Aaron Donald, 5 is Trent Williams, 6 is Ramsey, 7 Eckler, 8 DeForest Buckner, 9 Trayvon Diggs, 10 Quentin Nelson, 11 Jalen Waddle, 12 Shaq Leonard, 13 J.C. Jackson, 14 Derwin James, 15 Dak. I would change.
Mm.
I would move Waddle. I would swap Diggs and Waddle. Move Waddle up to
What?
9 and Diggs to 11.
What
And then I would,
about
That's not
and then I would
Buckner?
also, and I would also move Donald up to 2nd over Bosa and drop Bosa to 4. That's about
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, I'll put Donald second
What
too.
about Buckner's
I have him
goated.
at 8. I have him at 8.
I would have
still
put
really
Waddle probably 1 or 2 spots higher. But like, you know, I think this list is a little unfair to the later half of the list because it's like, you know, Jefferson, Kelsey, Williams, Donald, Bosa, like
Yeah.
they're in a different category. Like it's
Yeah.
just like you can't like,
It's fine.
you know, JC Jackson like ain't even the best player at his position in the league.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no, nowhere near. Although I think
Nope.
Joey Bosa's washed, so I'm happy with him at 15. I think until he has a comeback season, I was happy with Joey Bosa at 15, Dak at 14. Like, no problem there. Wish I would have had Aaron Donald, obviously, a little higher, maybe above Shaq Leonard. I don't think I put Aaron Donald above DeForest Buckner just yet. What I mean by that is Aaron Donald's slowing down. Buckner, I mean, he's more coming into the prime, so we'll see. But I mean, for right now, I would have Donald. I guess I'd have him over Buckner. And one's at 4.
I think
one's
Donald
at
would
5.
have to be over Buckner.
Yeah,
So just
kinda.
because of what he's done in the past.
Oh, no. Fuck the history. Remember, Austin? Fuck the history.
You love the history. You go off of history for everything.
That's why I'm going off potential. This list is all potential. J.C. Jackson could be potentially the number 2. Buckner could be number 4. Hell, I like my
Yeah?
Nelson. Nelson right at 6 feels right. Just above Trent.
Shit, why isn't Nelson the greatest player of all time on your list then, Ben?
Oh my god. It's not. Alrighty, so thank you so much for joining us. That was a blind ranking of 15, which is awesome.
All right,
Like,
Shane.
Share, comment.
I just saw that.
Yeah. So if anyone's wondering, it's about to be history because he's gonna be out rubbing some feet. Just so y'all know.
Why do you guys say it weird like that?
I had to. I had to.
Why do you gotta be weird?
Because he's
Don't
bad.
forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Facebook's going up. TikToks are always growing, which is
Would
awesome.
you like and subscribe after you just heard yourself say that?
I would, but I'm a weirdo.
Travis, send us out.
Bye.
I was not expecting just a bye. All right,
Caught me
bye.
off guard with that.
Bye.
He froze, bro.
You're the best.
Yeah, bro. You guys don't want me on next one, right?
Yes, we do.